Somerville Highlander Boys Lacrosse on Somerville Ed TV. I'm Todd Harmon, and today from Dilboy Stadium, we have the Highlanders facing off against the Whittier Wildcats. As the Wildcats come in ranked number 16 in the newly minted 2025 spring rankings in Division II. The Highlanders come in ranked number 48. As we are underway, we will get to know these Whittier Wildcats names throughout this game, as they are one of the top teams here in Division II. They are 7-0 on the season. They have a 400-point scorer on their team. His name is Connor Walsh. He is number 10. And that pass goes errantly away. So the Highlanders will get the turnover as Tim Jones will get the restart. Highlanders come in ranked number 48 in Division II. They come off a victory against Revere. This is their 10th game of the year. They are 4-5 overall, which leaves them one short of the mark of 5 wins in the first 10, which, if you double that out for a season, is going to get you into the playoffs. But it is a tough hill to climb today against these Wildcats. As I noted, they are undefeated on the season and a very, very dangerous team to deal with as they get the possession, breaking into the offensive attack. As right there in front of the goal, you see Connor Walsh, number 10. Ball will be restarted after the errant pass. Highlander goalie Zach Gordon will take it. As the Highlanders come off that victory against Revere, Pasquale Candolino has been fantastic in the last week as he has 8 goals in his last 2 games. As Tim Jones brings that big cross in, he's going to fire that towards the net. Does it get in? No, it did not. Great job by the Wildcat goalie, Vinny Foster, as he was able to smother that one. You know, Timmy loves to break into the offensive end and use that big stick of his, but he was turned away by Vinny Foster. As Whittier trying the pass in the offensive end, Mike Valhuli unable to pick that one up. Highlanders will get it on the restart. So Tim will get that towards the goal. It's going to get away, though. On an errant pass, you'll note the possession will switch over to the team that was defending the pass. On an errant shot where the ball goes out of bounds, the team with the player closest is who will get that possession. As that shot by Walsh goes to the side. Nice job by Zach Gordon. As the restart by DiCredico. Number 18 there, DiCredico, excellent as well offensively as he will screen for Walsh. Walsh coming out from X, drops it up the alleyway, driving down, looking for the goal. Goes wide with the shot. Great job there by Zach Gordon as well, as he was squared up nicely to that shot. Now the attempt driving in, that's Mike Valhuli, and he's going to put that one home. As the young freshman Mike Valhuli quickly gets that one, drives in from the right wing, and is able to get it by Highlander goalie Zach Gordon. You see the wide degree of offense that the Wildcats bring as Valhuli, young freshman on this team, DiCredico, one of the senior leaders on the team, along with Connor Walsh as well. Face off right in the middle there. That's Brogan Aravea for the Wildcats, dealing with Antonio Lewis, and Lewis is going to get the possession for the Highlanders after the infraction by Aravea. Face-off circle will be vital today for the Highlanders to get possessions, as the Highlander offense can get goals, no question about it, as Candolino will chase that down at X. Pasquale brings it out, looking to turn, looks for the shot, but lost it out of the back of the cross, had that checked away. Nice job defensively by Mark Nealon, as he will bring it out of the defensive end in transition. Now Valhuli has it out wide on the right wing. Highlander defense really needs to settle in against this tough offensive attack. Joseph Giordano has been excellent. He's back there at the X position, along with Tim Jones as well. Damian Jackson, he's been locking it down defensively as he's dealing right now with DiCredico. Now DiCredico coming around. Will drop it down. That's Walsh. Watch out for that shot from him. as he spins away from the defense, fires it towards the goal. Zach Gordon says no, sir. As it goes out of bounds on the missed shot. Closest to it's going to be the Wildcats. They will maintain the possession. Jake Horn will get the restart. Great job there by Zach Gordon. Now Walsh will go ahead and perform the restart. Highlanders down Seamus Foley right now as he's been sent off. So Highlanders down a man in the defensive end, packing that defense in a zoned situation. Giordano has it out wide here near. Now the ball coming far side. Up at the top of the alleyway. DiCredico back out wide to the left. There's Walsh. Drops it down. Shot put by Valhuli against the outside of the netting. And the Highlanders able to battle through that man-down situation. Tried to get it all the way downfield, long pass, and they are going to be able to pick it up as Pasquale's going to get it in the offensive zone. Highlanders looking to settle their offense in. So they've got Matt DeAngelis back. He had 2 goals, 2 assists against the Patriots in that 12-3 victory. Keeping the Highlanders in second place in the GBLs. Candelino spins away from the check. Looking for the offense to get settled as Foley's time expires on the penalty box. He comes out. Now Foley cutting towards the net. Candelino looking for a cutter. Ben DiCarlo out wide to his right. There's Matt DeAngelis, number 3. Looking to get in behind his defender, Marcotte. Colin Rosas, number 11, really great utility man. Head coach Chuck Graham really loves what he's brought. As that shot by Candelino blocked by Foster. And Foster's going to clean it up in the crease area. As he gets that out to Aravea. Aravea gets it forward. Tries to hook up with Vahui. But it gets by him. Battle for the ground ball. Trying to get it before it goes out. As it's gone out of bounds, who are they going to say it was out on? It was out on the Wildcats. Highlanders will pick it up. Valhuli unable to pick up that pass. Highlanders down a goal. 7 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 12-minute quarters here in boys lacrosse. As the pass from Tim Jones goes awry, trying to hook up out there with Damian Jackson, so the turnover will go to the Wildcats. As there's Walsh spinning away, driving in, checked, ball knocked out. Nice job there defensively by Damian Jackson with the check, and there is Tim Jones, so effective with that long cross, picking up those ground balls as he leads the offensive attack. He'll wing that one towards the net as he rips it by. Wide to the near side. Candelino in position at X. He's going to keep the possession for the Highlanders. Candelino brings it out as they will set their offense. Candelino running the point right now of this offense. It's Pasquale from the left wing. Looks for the shot. Gets double teamed. He'll fire it in there anyway. And right there, Vinny Foster just vacuuming that ball up, but Valhui unable to get the midfield pass in the neutral zone, so the Highlanders will get the possession back. Wildcats struggling in their transition game. Highlanders unable to take advantage thus far, still trailing 1-0 after the Valhuli goal. As Ben DiCarlo will get the restart here. DiCarlo breaks into the offensive zone. Get past that 30-yard line, that football 30-yard line, as we've got a whistle. Far side of the field. Offsides is going to be the call. That's going to go against the Highlanders. Possession will go over to the Wildcats. And offsides is basically an infraction where your defenders have moved across into the offensive zone, or your offensive player has moved too many people into the defensive zone. Basically, too many people in the attacking zone in that situation. So the turnover goes over to the Wildcats, and they will start their possession as they have it at X. Walsh tosses it back behind. Actually, that's DiCredico, and that gives it to Walsh. And that's Walsh showing why he is a 400-point scorer as he whips that one by Zach Gordon, bounces it right in. So Connor Walsh adds to his 400-plus point total. DiCredico will get an assist on that one as he brought it out of X, passed it out of X. Got that one right to Walsh. So in the face-off circle, Pat Salvato for the Highlanders, dealing with Brogan Arvea. And strike that. That's Lucas Keefe for the Wildcats. The ball out on the ground. Highlanders looking to come away with it. Josue Guevara trying to pick that one up, unable to address the ground ball. Picked up finally by Lucas Keefe as they get it back to Foster. And he will start the attack, but his pass goes errantly away. Highlanders unable to pick it up, and now the Wildcats have it into the attacking zone as they try to turn transition into offense. That shot goes into the back of the net. That is Connor Walsh yet again with that quick bouncing shot. Gets it by Zach Gordon, 3-0. Now the Wildcat lead as Walsh has tallied his second. Back into the face-off circle, 17 versus 17. Antonio Lewis versus Brogan Arvea. As the ball comes squirting out, it's going to be picked up by the Wildcats as Nealon has it, gets it into the attacking zone. Ahuli drops it off. Walsh loses it out of the cross. Chased around behind the net. Does it get out of bounds? Valhuli tries to save it, but unable to before it gets out of bounds. Got 15 yards behind the goal line. You can barely see it probably on your screens, but there is a blue line running from the flagpole to flagpole. Those are the corners. As Zach Gordon fires that upfield, trying to hit Matt DeAngelis as Matty will pick up the ground ball. Highlanders getting into the attacking zone. So he gets it past that 30. As Matt will go ahead and cut inside as he spins, looks for the backhanded shot. That one is no good. I think it got blocked coming out of its cross. 4:09 remaining as that errant shot. Closest to it is going to be the Highlanders able to maintain the possession as Foley will get the restart here near side. Highlanders need to get some points here. Last third of the first quarter. It's Candelino. Haven't seen Foley rip off a shot yet. Really know he loves those long distance bouncers. There's Rosas now with it. Top of the alleyway. Gets the screen from DeAngelis. Spins off. Defended tightly by Marcotte. Marcotte with the check. Rosas the single hand. That'll be the drop of the cross. Possession goes over to the Wildcats. Marcotte sends it forward, gets it to Walsh. Walsh trying to play that one towards the cutter. The cutting DiCredico. That's the ball down on the ground, picked up. Fired towards the net. Zach Gordon able to block that one. As Walsh tried that shot from right on the doorstep outside the crease. Now DiCredico will start it once again. Gives it off back to DiCredico, defended by Tim Jones. Spinning around. Oh, Zach had it for a second, but it bounced through. as he had blocked it for a moment. That's going to be the first goal of the game for Kyle DeCredico. As noted trivia for you today, Kyle, goal scorer right there for the Wildcats, cousin of Highlander freshman Matt Costa. So the senior DeCredico able to score against Costa's team, his cousin's team. It's kind of how they set this game up. Highlanders looking for some outside GBL play. We're able to get this game set up. Whittier coming down, bringing that number 16 ranking, leading 4-0 now. As we're going to have a hold there, that's going to go against Pat Salvato. So possession will go to the Wildcats. You see how important those face-off circle situations are. You've got to win those to get the possession. Now Whittier able to stack on the points with the possessions. As it's brought here near side, Jake Chase has to chase it down, but he's able to. Once you're in that offensive zone, you get across that football 30-yard line. The ball can come all the way out to the football 50-yard line once you've established that point. So the Wildcats able to maintain their possession as that did not go past the football 50. Walsh now looking for speed. Around. Fires that one towards the net. It was on Zach Gordon. He was able to stop it cold. Transition pass out of the defensive end, though, is going to be shepherded out of bounds by Brogan Aravea. 2:14 remains in the first quarter. The Wildcats 4-0 lead, maintaining that possession, but Aravea, his pass cross field ended up with some crossed crosses, and the Highlanders coming away with possession. Tim Jones passes it forward. Rosas unable to field it, gets through as it rolls all the way into the offensive end. Candelino unable to get it, as DiCarlo could not save it from going out. Restart here, Mark Nealon for the Wildcats. He's going to run it right out of that offensive zone. You've got 10 seconds to move in that neutral zone area as a flag comes in. Play will continue when a flag comes in. That's going to be a penalty against the Highlanders. Tripping is going to be the call. When a flag comes down, the offensive team gets to maintain their possession, continue their possession, similar to a delayed penalty in hockey. Seamus Foley heading back to the penalty box. Highlanders will be down a man yet again. Second time this game. They were able to battle off the man down situation last time Foley was in the box. So they working on the left-hand wing. Get it back into that X position. Now up the alleyway, shot fired. Zach Gordon knocks that one aside. And the outlet pass looking for the top of the alley is going to be taken away. Picked up there by Josue Guevara. As Guevara now able to transition into the offensive end for the Highlanders. Candelino tries to get it over towards Braden Hart on the weak side there. Pass goes by the cutting Hart. Wildcats will get the possession back. The only drawback in terms of that continuing their attack, Highlanders could have pulled that ball out, played a possession game for the remainder of the Foley penalty. Instead, they turned the ball right back over. Now the Wildcats into the attacking zone, still up a man. DeCredico passes it. Shot right there. That's in the back of the net by Jake Horn as he was cutting in. Gets the pass from DeCredico. And Horn on the board as the Wildcats score their fifth goal, 5-0 the Wildcat lead, 46 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. You see right there, Highlanders, if they had pulled that ball out strategically on their offensive end, Foley probably would have been able to get out of the box and been present. They wouldn't have been down a man in that situation. Face off, one away by Keefe over Lewis. And once again, here is Whittier as the Wildcats have that make it, take it situation. 35 seconds remaining as Valhuli has it. They're going to work quickly here on the offensive end. DiCredico out to Walsh. Walsh around, fires it. That's in the net. As Walsh bounces it by Zach Gordon. Connor Walsh, pure hat trick in the first quarter. His third goal of the game. 6-0 is the Wildcat lead. 25.5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. See the critical nature of that face-off circle. As the Wildcats, two capable face-off men in Brogan Aravea and Lucas Keefe. Highlanders Pat Salvato, as well as Antonio Lewis. Salvato loses that one to Keefe. Keefe breaks in, drops it off. They're working quickly there. The long shot from the left wing goes wide of the net as they want one more here in the last 21 seconds. Valhuli will get the restart. He has it at X. Gives it back to DiCredico. Now DiCredico comes around. Shot! Fired! Back of the net. And actually, that's Connor Walsh, not DiCredico. I'm getting my 18 and my 10 reversed. As Connor Walsh laying it on here against the Highlanders. 4 goals for Walsh in this first quarter. 7.9 seconds left, and it is a 7-goal lead for the Wildcats. Pat Salvato in the face-off circle for the Highlanders, going up against Keefe, as Keefe able to come away with it. Drops that one downfield to Marcotte. Marcotte will put that into the back of the net as he uses the long cross to great effect. Bodie Marcotte onto the board. 3.5 seconds left. Suddenly you look up, it's an 8-0 lead for the Wildcats. Moments ago, it was 4-0, and that is the nature of that face-off circle. Such a cruel situation when you are not able to get your possessions back. So Antonio Lewis battling in there, trying to get that possession for the Highlanders. Keefe pushed away. And that will do it for the first quarter of play. Highlanders trailing in this one 8-0 after the first quarter. We're going to keep it right here really quickly. We're going to talk really quickly about something important going on for this lacrosse team, as they've had such a tremendous season. They're second place right now in the GBL. A loss today will drop them to 4-6. It does look like that might end up being the situation. However, still in contention for a playoff position, because they are only 6 wins away from the playoffs. And you want to help this team out, you've got 12 days. You can check out the team Instagram. It is at Highlander_LAX. That is at Highlander_LAX over on Instagram. You can find the link to the team Snap Raise fundraiser. There's only 12 days remaining on that up until May 12th. So make sure, if you want to support this team, help them out, make sure they continue growing lacrosse here in Somerville. Get on Instagram, go to at Highlander_LAX. Find the link to the team Snap Raise fundraiser and head on over there and help out any way you can. And I know head coach Chuck Graham really would appreciate that as well. And while I'm talking about numbers and things like that, I also want to thank everybody out there, because back in the fall, I talked about how we wanted to get up to 3,000 subscriptions on the Somerville Ed TV YouTube page, and we have successfully done that. Thank you so much for getting us to that 3K. Everybody out there mashing those buttons. I can hear it in unison. The sound is lovely when the button mashing is occurring. So thank you very much out there mashing those buttons. Like, share, subscribe. If you know anybody who has not been button mashing, make sure they add to the chorus, I should say, of the button mashing, and get more subscribers for us, because we really do appreciate it. We're bringing you the Highlander Athletics. We've got great stuff here in the spring. The volleyball team battling for a GBL championship. Girls lacrosse as well, heading right back to the playoffs, where they have been many years as well. as we are about to get underway here in second quarter. Just want to say one more time, thank you so very much, as the Wildcats get the face-off win to open out the second quarter, leading 8-0. Out wide, Valhuli now. Gets it back to the X position. Now Walsh with it. Now Valhuli fires that one. Just a quick snap overhead shot. Able to get that one by Zach Gordon. That was a ripper from Valhuli as he picks up his second. .11:33 remaining now. Highlanders down 9-0. The minute remaining in the first quarter, it was a 4-0 Highlander deficit. And it just underscores the value of winning faceoffs. You can absolutely win or lose a game by winning those possessions in the faceoff circle. See Salvato out there against Lucas Keefe. And Keefe will come away with that ground ball. And the Wildcats continue as Connor Walsh fires it into the middle. Unable to collect it in the cross was Mark Nealon breaking in. Highlanders will get the possession. As Tim Jones fires that one kind of into no man's land, picked up by the Wildcats. As Nealon now with that long cross breaks in, loses it. Tim Jones will pick it up. Good job there by Damian Jackson. Now Tim Jones into the attacking zone. Has to get to that 30-yard line. Passes it off to Foley. Foley obtains the 30. Now there's Matt Costa. It's Costa being accosted. Trying to connect up at X with Braden Hart. Hart tries to get possession, but picked up ably by Bodie Marcotte. Marcotte brings it forward, passes it in that neutral area, trying to connect up with Nealon. Winds up Connor Walsh's cross, gives it up to DiCredico. His shot stopped right in front of the net by Zach Gordon. Excellent job by Gordon. Highlanders now getting it out of the defensive zone. DeAngelis brings it forward. Pass, though, leading Rosas too much. On the ground now the ball goes. As it is chased down here near side, but checked out of bounds is Remy Rasudo. Highlanders get it on the restart as Rosas has it. Highlanders now finally on the offensive end, trailing 9-0. Looking for some way to get it by Wildcat goalie Vinny Foster. As Rosas speeds by his man. He's met by the double team once he got inside, though. And there's Marcotte as he picks up the ground ball. And he's into the transition. Defended there by Matt DeAngelis as DeAngelis checked that ball out. But Nealon's there to pick it up. Foley's able to knock it out. Nealon picks it right back up. He's into the attacking zone. And Nealon switches over to the backhand. Tries to bounce that one in. Ball is around the crease and bounding about. And the Highlanders will get it on the crease violation there, as Walsh was bouncing into the crease. Pass out of the defensive zone, unable to be handled. Turnover goes right back to the Wildcats. Mark Nealon with it. As Nealon avoids the check there from Rosas, DeAngelis able to check it out of the cross. And attempted pickup there by Giordano, and a heavy check there on Giordano is going to draw the flag. So the Highlanders will go up a man on the illegal check. Good opportunity here for the Highlanders to get a goal onto the board. Keep an eye on number 22, Seamus Foley. He loves to rip them from far off. Just under 9 minutes remaining as clock rolls. Highlanders restart. DeAngelis gets it out. Candelino's shot wide of the net. Highlanders get the restart. Has been DiCarlo back at X. We'll get it started. He's got Braden Hart right here at right wing. He'll give it off to Hart. Hart cutting in along the goal line. Instead, we'll go back to X. You see Foley drifting out. Candelino spins, pulls it back out, finds Rosas. Now, Rosas trying to get speed around that corner, couldn't quite get it, gets it back to X. Braden Hart has it, looking for the cutter, trying to get it to DeAngelis, as DeAngelis got it in the cross and fired it towards the net, and I think it was a poster. I think it came off the post that time. Postmarked return to sender on Matty D. Highlanders with the restart on the left wing now. Give it up to Foley, top of the alley. Braden Hart will take that one as it goes wide, but picked up by DiCarlo. DiCarlo's pass looking out to Foley at the top of the alleyway right as the penalty expires, and the Wildcats are able to get it, come away with it as Marcotte is into the offensive zone. Now Valhuli coming out of X. Passes it to Marcotte. Marcotte fires that one. It goes wide to the near side. Highlanders will get it. As Tim Jones as well as Zach Gordon nearest to that one. Timmy gives it up to Gordon. Got to watch out behind you, Zach. Valhuli was there coming with the check, and he knocked it out. Giordano will pick that one up. As Joe will use that big stick, bring it on out of the defensive end. There's Giordano as he gets it checked out, though. Picked up by Nealon. Or strike that. That's Aravea who picked that one up. Gave that one off to Archibald. Reed Archibald getting time in there. And there's a big goal again for the Wildcats as they go up double digits. Ten to nothing now the lead for the Wildcats. 7:04 remaining in the first half. Highlanders still trying to break through offensively. Antonio Lewis looking to get this possession against Keefe. Bounding ball picked up. As Josue Guevara had it, he is knocked down. Flags all over. Guevara, nice job picking up that ball. We're going to have a foul going against Walsh as Connor Walsh will head over to the box. Highlanders with the man advantage here. Second time they've had the man advantage so far this game. 6:55 remaining. Looking to break through for the first time with their first goal of the game. As Matt DeAngelis will start at the top of the alley. Near side to DiCarlo. Hart working out of X. He's not really finding any cutters though, as that defense packed in very tightly in that zone. Foley has it out wide on the left wing, gives it back to Candeloni. Now Foley, top of the alley. Gives it to DeAngelis. As Matty loses that one out of the cross, but there's Candelino as Pasquale picks it up. Now Pasquale gets by his man, powers through, gives it off to Foley. Foley, though, was thinking about the shot before he got it into the cross. Ball bounding towards the 50-yard line, and the Highlanders lose the possession as it crosses over, but it was a 50-50 ball, I believe. So it will be a ground ball. Whoever can pick up this ground ball after this late season Easter egg hunt, they're going to have the possession. As right near the net, DeCredico picks it up, turns, fires, puts it home. And nope, that's again Connor Walsh. I keep confusing my 18 and my 10. Connor Walsh, man on the spot. The last guy the Highlanders wanted to get it right there in front of the crease. Well, and that's what ended up happening as he picks up the ground ball. Fires it in the back of the net. 5 goals for Walsh. 11-0, the Wildcat lead. Back into the face-off circle. Salvato in there. As Keefe will come away with it. Plays that forward. Valhuli out on the right wing. Whittier likes to start their attack out there with Valhuli and then work it around. Quick shot there by Matthew Hinnebury. Handled ably by Zach Gordon. Gordon now looking to transition out of the defensive end. Didn't quite connect up. And able to get the ball and move it through now. As we have a whistle, push-off is going to be the call. Highlanders get whistled for it. Goes back to the Wildcats. As Aravea now. Forward to Marcote. There's Walsh spinning away. Drops it. Top of the alley. Blocked by Gordon. Nice job by Zach Gordon as he blocks that sharp by Reed Archambault. Whittier now with the restart. Far side of the field. Hooley with it. They work it behind the goal. This is Walsh looking for the pass, but a great job there by Matt DeAngelis as he intercepts the pass to the cutter. Matty D looking for numbers into the transition to offense. His pass gets blocked. Good job by Josue as he was in a good spot on the left wing, able to field that ball. Josue got his first goal of his career against Revere in the last game. Look at that right here as he drives in on the right-hand side of the alley but loses it out of the cross. And Vinny Foster has it. Foster will play that one forward. Picked up by Valhuli. And Valhuli, really nice job as he's able to hold on to that one. Gives it to DiCredico, looking for Walsh on the doorstep. He couldn't come up with it. Highlanders come away with the ground ball as Colin Rosas has it. Now Rosas through that neutral zone. Gets across the 30. It's Tim Jones on the near wing. Drops it down to Braden Hart. Highlanders still looking for their first goal, trailing 11-0. It's Hart. Along this near goal line, gives it to DiCarlo. Got Rosas in front of the net. As DiCarlo brings it all the way out top of the alleyway. Flag comes out. Second flag comes out as the cross comes down. As Brogan Aravea is going to have a little discussion here with the referee. And we have another flag flying out as well here near side. Flags all over the place. Laundry day here at Dilboy. So we'll see what the outcome is. Couple Wildcats heading over. 2 will be kneeling. So the Wildcats will be down 3 men, as a matter of fact. As I look over there, it looks like we've got Aravea is over there, as well as, I believe, that's Archambault. I'm not totally sure who the other player is. I believe Mark Nealon. So the Highlanders 6-on-3. Really good opportunity here. As Candelino passes it to Hart. Hart, his shot blocked out of his cross. As DiCarlo trying to save it, dives down, able to stop that ball. Highlanders keep the possession. As DiCarlo gets it out to Rosas. Rosas gives it off to DeAngelis. DeAngelis fires that one. We're going to have another flag. Because we're going to have another slashing call, I think. Slash is going crazy. So Alejandro Damarac will join the trio. It is a quatrain of Wildcats in the penalty box. Can't go lower than 6 on 3, I believe. So you bring in a substitution. Highlanders with the 6 on 3 advantage offensively. The officials discussing with one another. 2:28 remains in the first half. Highlanders trail 11-0. Would love to get their first goal of the game right here. Playing a very, very difficult top 20 Division II squad in Whittier as they are ranked number 16 and undefeated on the season. It's DiCarlo here near side. Gets it back to Braden Hart at the X position. It's Braden. Takes the tough angle shot there. Possession stays with the Highlanders. Got Foley right at the top of the alleyway. You only have 3 defenders. I don't know why 22's not ripping one yet. So they tried to pass right across that crease area. Good job defensively by Colin Shaw as he got his cross on it. There's Foley with a rip. Great job by Vinny Foster as he was able to get the big net down in front of it. And we got 2 Wildcats coming out. Closer to even strength now. 6 on 5. So 1 Wildcat remains in the box. Highlanders unable to take advantage of twice the number of players out on the field. They get it out wide. Candelino has it. Candelino passes it to Foley. Foley spins away, loses it out of the cross, regains. Nice job defensively there by Aravea. Foley trying to drop it off to DeAngelis. He does. DeAngelis drops it down to Candelino, but they cannot connect up on that one as the pass goes awry and out of bounds. The Wildcats get the possession. Minute 22 remaining in the first half. Long pass downfield. Bahuli not able to get by that 50-yard line to go get it. And DeAngelis, Highlanders' best ground ball seeker, comes away with it. He gets triple teamed, though, as he drove into the alleyway. Candelino was there to pick it up. Rosas will take that shot. And Vinny Foster with the quick net, able to take care of it. Now the ball all the way downfield. As the shot there, blocked wide. Zach Gordon able to find it with his net. Landon Lavert with that shot. Now Connor Walsh trying to add to his total. Whips that one wide to the near side. 38 seconds remaining here in the first half. Whittier looking to add to their 11-0 advantage, and they will. As DeCredico found Walsh right on the doorstep. That's number 6 for Connor Walsh. Wildcats lead this one 12-0. 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Salvato and Keefe will meet in the face-off circle again. Whittier was able to pile on 5 goals, ending the first quarter of play within the last minute of play, using face-off wins and quick offensive attacks. Would love to tack on here, I am sure. Leading 12-0. As Pat trying to win this one out of the face-off circle. Bounding ball, bouncing about. So everybody hunting the egg. Here it is. Who's got position on it? Joe's Way comes away with it. Guevara breaks into the attacking area. Goes away using his speed, but loses it out of the cross. Good tough checking there by Mark Nealon. Marcotte comes away with it. It's Brody Marcotte now into the attacking zone. Gives that one off. Credico fired that one, but it went wide. As DiCredico unable to get that last second goal. That leaves it at 12-0 hit halftime here at Dilboy Stadium as the Wildcats of Whittier lead the Highlanders in this one. We will be back for second half action here on Somerville Ed TV. We are back on Somerville Ed TV. Todd Harmon here at Dilboy Stadium. Highlanders boys lacrosse trailing the Whittier Wildcats by the score of 12-0 as Connor Walsh, a 400-point scoring senior for the Wildcats, putting on a show. 6 goals in this game for number 10, as he has been absolutely tremendous. It has begun in the face-off circle for the Wildcats as they have won most of the face-offs, and you see right there, Aravea comes away with it. He drives up the alleyway, bounces that one by the Highlander net, and he goes down to the turf as well. Aravea hurt on that play as he was driving into the alley for the shot. So he will be checked on there. Getting up there. Aravea looking fine after he got up from that one. Restart will be the Wildcats' ball. They lead 12-0. Highlanders unable to get through offensively against Vinny Foster, the goalie for the Wildcats. 1 point had a 6-on-3. 3 men up power play advantage. Were not able to score during it. As this ball dropped to the top of the alleyway, but Jake Horn turned away as he drops it out wide. Now, Walsh breaking in. There's that dangerous player as he puts that one right into the back of the net. You see the speed that he has coming in from the wing. And as he gets his 7th goal, a flag had come down against the Highlanders on his attack. So we'll see if the Highlanders end up with after the goal. I don't think they will. Walsh gets his 7th. You see as Walsh breaking in there, he gets the cross back. That's a position where a lot of young players will lose the ball out the back of the cross in that situation. You see a lot of Highlander players struggling sometimes in that situation to hold on to it, and that's just that years of experience for Connor Walsh and the ability to keep that ball in the cross, create that whip motion that he's able to, and get that velocity. Excellent control as well. That's how you get those 400 points through your career. 11:28 remains, 13-0. The Wildcat lead. Back to the face-off circle. Highlanders will be down a man. After the penalty, that will go against Damian Jackson. Salvato fighting for that face-off, but coming away with it is Marcotte. Now Valhuli here on the near side as they work it back behind the net. That's Connor Walsh with it, brings it out. DiCredico now, top of the alleyway, brings it here near side, Valhuli. Valhuli didn't get it cleanly in the cross, but he's able to get the ground ball. Leo Fash there defensively for the Highlanders. Now Walsh coming out of X. Loves driving in from that far wing. Drops it top of the alleyway, ripped by Lucas Keefe. As Keefe will get into the scorers column with his first goal of the game. 14-0 the Wildcat lead. 10:42 remaining here in the game, or the third quarter, I should say. Wondering about a mercy rule. The 10 goal running clock rule begins in the fourth quarter. 12 goal being. It was 10 at one point. It's now 12. Either way, that has been met as the Wildcats lead 14-0. Jackson released from the penalty box. Face off. Salvato working, trying to get to it. Tim Jones is in there battling for it and looking like he comes away with it. Michael Neonakis, but he got it knocked out of his cross. And now shot put towards the net, goes wide to the near side. So that came from Remy Rasuda. Driving in, ball down on the ground outside the crease. Zach's going to roll it right back to himself. Once it's inside that crease area around the goal, it cannot be addressed by an offensive player. As Tim Jones will break it out of the offensive end, tries to give it up to Matt DeAngelis, gets by him as Braden Hart tries to clean it up. Defensively, though, the Wildcats are there trying to sweep it away as Colin Shaw wasn't able to control. Highlanders will get the restart. Just under 10 minutes remain in the third quarter. As Foley will bring this one forward. Foley sends it back to X. That's where Ben DiCarlo is, as he will bring it out. Highlanders spread out wide as they use the full offensive area here. DiCarlo looking for a screen from Neonakis. Instead, Neonakis will cut along with DeAngelis. He passes it down looking for DeAngelis. Missed that pass, but Hart was there at X to pick it up. Now Hart, he's got Candelino cutting as Pasquale unable to collect the pass from Hart. And it gets across the 50-yard line. And that is the turnover. And now in transition quickly are the Wildcats as Valhuli out in front of the net, dropping that one home. That's going to be Mr. Walsh. As Valhuli gets the assist. Walsh adding to his total. 15-0 now the lead for the Wildcats. 9:02 remains here in the third quarter. Back to the face-off circle again. Antonio Lewis there for the Highlanders. Lewis and Keefe battling there. Tim Jones gets in there, ball bouncing around. Luke Abakian is getting his first time as well. And the push-off is going to be called against the Wildcats, so Tim Jones will obtain the offensive zone. The Highlanders will work their offense as Colin Rosas comes on. He will run the point. Rosas, top of the alleyway. Gives it out to DeAngelis. Highlanders have not been able to figure out this Whittier defense. You see the two layers of zone, basically, that they have going on there. As DeAngelis breaks in, he gets met by that second layer. And the Highlanders have not been able to find their way through it. Matt Costa on the field right now, number 13. As Braden Hart has it out wide right. Looks to spin away from his defender. As you see that second layer of defense just ready to collapse down on Hart if he came above the goal line. Instead he goes below the goal line through X, tries to pass to Foley. Foley unable to address the bouncing ball, and it gets into the crease. That's going to be picked up by Brendan Boubier. As Boubier is the backup goalie into the game for the Wildcats. DeAngelis passes it to himself along the goal line out wide right. So Vinny Foster giving away to Brendan Boubier. Now Hart with it. Gets the screen from Candelino, gives it off to Foley. Foley backing away. Looking to use some speed here, but he falls down, slips on the turf, able to keep the ball in the cross, spins away from his attacker, gets to the forehand side, gives that one off to Matt Costa, and Matt Costa has the first goal of the game for the Highlanders. Fittingly, Matt Costa gets the goal against his cousin Kyle DeCredico's team, as number 18 DeCredico for the Wildcats, the cousin of Matt Costa. Costa able to break through against the Wildcats. Great pass there from Foley, and Costa closed it right into the net. Highlanders now down 15-1, 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And Salvato battling for that face-off. Ball down on the ground is Colin Brown getting the face-off for the Wildcats, and they will come away with the win after the push-off. Jake Horn will bring it into the attacking zone. As DiCarlo checking it. Drops that one off top of the alley. Colin Brown there. Out wide, that's going to be Tyler Knight with it, number 33. Now Valhuli. Spinning. Back into the X. Looking for help. Drops it off. Errant pass. Goes to the top. All the way past the 50 as he was trying to connect up there with Landon Lavert. Highlanders now start the attack, as into the zone is Candelino. He fires that one midway up the alley. Bounces it by the outside of the net on the far side. Highlanders keep the possession. Braden Hart with it now. Hart gets it out to Candelino. Matt DeAngelis looks to break in. Now watch out as DeAngelis gets in near the inside. That double team comes. The Highlanders need to work off of that double team. You see Matt Costa cutting in right there. He's right in front of the crease. Hart can't get it to him though. Now Hart out of X. Possibly fires that one, gets blocked. He's able to pick it up again. Everything breaks down, but Braden Hart able to get through everything and puts that one into the back of the net. As the play broke down, Braden Hart came out from X, surrounded by Wildcats, was able to break free and put that one right behind the goaltender, Brendan Bouvier. 5:28 remains. It is 15-2 now. I guess the 12-goal versus 10-goal differential might make a difference in this game. Face-off battled for. Antonio Lewis not able to come away with it as the Wildcats have it into the offensive zone. Colin Shaw dropped it off here near side. That's Kyle Brown crossing, looking for the pass to Jake Horn, cutting in, stolen away as Tim Jones comes away with it for the Highlanders. Timmy going into the offensive zone. We know what may happen. Oh, he lost it out of the cross. Nice check there. Timmy rarely loses the ball out of that long stick of his, but just couldn't quite hold on to it that time. Highlanders, though, get the possession after the technical infraction. Braden Hart with it after scoring his first goal of the game. Gives it up, Matt DeAngelis now with it. It's DeAngelis driving in. He'll rip one. That's in the back of the net. What a shot there by Matty D. He put that one up high. Not much Brendan could do in that situation. 15-3 now the Wildcat lead. 4:32 remaining here in the third quarter. It's Pat Salvato back into that face-off circle. He's going to be facing off against Colin Brown this time. So the Highlanders making some noise against the Wildcat backups. Brown able to chase the ball down, and it's picked up there, but we have an infraction. Push-off is going to be the call against the Highlanders. So Bruce Knutson will get the restart as Knutson puts it out wide to the far side to Tyler Knight. Knight loses it out of the cross. Picked up by Timmy. As Tim Jones showing some speed downfield, but he gets ripped from behind as Lucas Keefe was able to rip the ball out for a moment. Ball still down on the ground. Who can pick it up as it's into the crease area? And the possession will go to the Wildcats. Keefe bringing this one up. Passes that one off. Nice catch by Jake Horn as he's able to pick it up. Horn defended there by Josue Guevara. Now out wide, Knight has it. Knight using that body, going to the interior, lost it out of the cross. Henneberry had it for a moment, got it out here near side. Now top of the alley, Landon Lavert. Defended by DeAngelis. Lavert looking to break in. Drops it back out. There's Henneberry. He drops it off to Kyle Brown. Brown unable to get that pass, though. Goes out of bounds. Highlanders will get the ball. 3:10 remaining here in the third quarter. Highlanders down by 12, 15-3. And the restart here as Matt DeAngelis will carry it forward. DeAngelis speeding through the checks, gets into the attacking zone, fires that one, trying for a second goal of the game, comes wide to the near side. Highlanders keep control. Braden Hart back there at the X position. Restart here for Hart. Candelino near side. No check there from Rosas. Loses it out of his cross. Able to pick it back up. Knight has him defensively. As he drives down the alleyway, spins away from his defender, rips that one. Goes high. Braden Hart with the restart. Gets it out to DeAngelis as DeAngelis has it here now on the left wing. Being defended by Alejandro Damarak. As he gives that to Colin Rosas. Rosas trying to work his way past Rizzuto. As he gets past Rizzuto, there's that second layer of defense. And you see how the back man who was just sped by, able to check the ball away. Highlanders have Josue there to pick it up. There's some speed from Josue. Can he get it towards the net? He does, but it's blocked there by Boubier. Now the goalie, Brendan Boubier, able to pick that one up. Minute 35 remaining in the third quarter. Ball knocked out of the cross of Reed Archambault. As he tries to collect it. Ended up with his cross in Tim Jones's face, but the Highlanders came away with the ball as Colin Rosas has it into the attacking zone. Now Rosas, top of the alley, rips that shot, goes wide to the far side. Might have been blocked. Hart will get the restart. It's Hart now. Out of the X on the left wing. Gets that one knocked out of his cross. Ball on the ground. Candelino looking to come away with it. Battling there with Archambault. There comes Pasquale as he has it driving towards the net. Pasquale Candelino puts it into the back of the net. Collects his 9th goal in the last 3 games for the Highlanders. As that will make it an 11-goal lead for the Wildcats. 44 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Things have changed on the field as back into the face-off circle is Colin Brown. Highlanders against the Wildcat backups that put 4 into the back of the net. Tim Jones battling over there with Bruce Knutson, trying to get to the ball. Ground ball bandied about. Possession push off against the Highlanders. Possession will go to the Wildcats. 33 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter as we get the restart. As Knutson loses it out of his cross. Picked up by Nianakis, who sent that one forward, but it gets past Candelino and out of bounds. Colby Kent with the restart. As Bouvier has it. Gets it back into that crease zone. Ball banding about cross field. Mike Nianakis going to pick it up for the Highlanders. He gives it to Tim Jones, top of the alleyway. Timmy fires that one. Right as the clock expired, it went wide of the net. The Highlanders tighten this game up against the Wildcat backups in the 3rd quarter. They put 4 into the back of the net. They trail 15-4 as we move to the 4th quarter from Dilboy on Somerville Ed TV.
When you don't want them to score.
I know.
They're not stopping the clock, so I know.
How dare you guys?
But if they didn't score that last goal, they would, right?
I don't know. Because they didn't do it before.
Well, he just said as of the 4th quarter, if they're down 12.
Yeah. They've outscored the backups. That's something. It is something. I'm sure Costa's quite happy he scored. Oh, who do we have going with the big net now? 30 what? Bouvier is out. I'm guessing, by the way. It could be Bouvier. That's the thing. It's Bubbier.
I like the way you've been saying.
Bouvier?
Yeah, because the other way.
If I went hard R, yeah, it would not be good. That guy's Bouvier. Back here at Dilboy Stadium, Highlanders trailing the Wildcats by the score of 15-4. We move to the 4th quarter. As in the face-off circle, Pat Salvano facing off against Colin Brown. The Highlanders have put 4 goals into the back of the net in that 3rd quarter, facing off against the Wildcat backups here. The Wildcats come in the number 16 team in Division II, undefeated at 7-0. Highlanders have been able to make some noise here against their backups as Pasquale Candelino passes it down to Tim Jones. Timmy got the big cross down there along the goal line. New goalie in net, Jamison Cahill for the Wildcats. 3rd goalie of the game as Candelino comes to the alleyway, fires that one. Cahill able to knock that one to the side. Highlanders keep the possession. Braden Hart with it now. There's Domarock back there defensively. Hart will give it up as Matt DeAngelis comes on. DeAngelis scored his first goal of the game in that third quarter. As he drives in, thinking about another. Gets to his forehand. Fires that one. Cahill stones him in that situation with that big net. Nice job there by Jamison Cahill. As he tries to transition out, he does it successfully as the pass sent to the interior. Tyler Knight unable to control it. Bending ball, bouncing ball, ends up into the crease. As Zach Gordon able to pick it up. Now Gordon gives the ball here near side. Damian Jackson looking to get out of the defensive zone. But there's Matt Hinnebury. As Hinnebury able to knock it away. Push-off goes against Hinnebury. So the Highlanders will maintain the possession. As Timmy looks to pass that one forward, but it was partially blocked by Kyle Brown. Now Rosas unable to pick it up. Tim Jones, long cross. Push-off is going to be the call. I think DeCarlo came in pushing off. And a flag goes down. So the push-off against the Highlanders. However, the flag will go against. I believe it might be offsetting as I see both Knutson and Tim Jones heading over, but Knutson's the one in the penalty box. Possession will stay with the Wildcats. Knutson stands in the penalty box. There's still 6 attackers out there, 5 Highlanders, so Tim Jones was the man sent off, and on the man advantage, there's number 7. That is Mike Vahuli. As Valhuli gets his 3rd of the game. 10 minutes remaining. 12-goal lead now for the Wildcats. Clock will roll with the 12-goal lead for the Wildcats, 16-4. As Antonio Lewis in the face-off circle against Colin Brown. And Brown called for illegal procedure. He's moved up too quickly. So the Highlanders get the possession. As Jones will get into the offensive zone. Looking for that cutter as Nianakis cutting in. Jones loses it out of the back of the cross. Nice job defensively there by Bodie Marcotte. As he's trying to keep Foley from picking up that ground ball. Foley will get it over to the sideline. Marcotte will check him down. And that will be a push-off on Marcotte. Highlanders will get the possession. 8:50, clock rolling. As Foley gets the restart from left wing. Driving in, looking for the shot. Foley loves to rip it. He does, wide to the near side. Braden Hart will get the restart from X. Now Hart. Defended out there by Archambault. Gives it to Foley. Foley looks to Nianakis on the interior. Ends up bouncing by him, and Cahill just picks it up in the big cross. So Cahill sends it out. Marcotte now looking for the transition. His pass a little bit ahead of Knutson. And out of bounds. Last to touch it, though, the Highlanders, as Rosas came in trying to save it. So the Wildcats get the restart. Kyle Brown with it. As Brown gets it to Knutson. Knutson out wide to Horn. So they work it around. Knight with it now. Defended by Tim Jones out there. Knight looking to use that big body as he goes in. Trying to get his placement in front of the crease, but the ball knocked out of his cross. Tim Jones chasing after it. See who gets the possession. It will be the Wildcats. Tyler Knight now will get the restart at midfield. Clock rolls, 2:50 or 6:50, I should say, remaining in the game. Highlanders down by 12, 16-4. Top of the alleyway, Jake Horn spinning. Gets checked by Tim Jones. Pulls away. Horn has Knight down here on the left wing, gives it to him. Knight looking for Horn cutting. Jones able to block the pass and bat the ball out. Candelino trying to hit a cutting DiCarlo in the neutral zone. Stolen away by Lavert for the Wildcats. As Lavert tries to give it here near side to Jake Horn, gets by him. Knight saves it from going out. Horn trying to collect it. Dealing with Neonakis, and Mike Neonakis is going to come away with it as he gets checked. Cross check is going to be the call there on Matt Hinnebury. And if the Highlanders lose possession of this ball, that penalty will go into effect. And they just did, as Kyle Brown stole that pass. So Hinnebury, number 2, will head to the penalty box. Highlanders will be up a man. Clock rolls, 5:35 remaining. The Highlanders look to cut this, get a 5th goal in this game. If you look forward to the Highlanders record, you look at the Highlanders record, I should say, likely they will wind up 4-6 after this game. Mid-season, this is their 10th game, 10 more games to go. They need 6 wins in those 10 games. And as you look at their schedule, you see the possibility of 6 wins. As they have rematches coming up against Lynn as well as against Malden, 2 teams that they've been able to defeat. They have 2 games against Mystic Valley, as they will be at Mystic Valley and then back home here at Dilboy to close the season. As Braden Hart gets the pass, tries to fire that one, bounces away, and the Wildcats come away with it. Is with speed is Colin Shaw. Shaw loses it out for a moment. Tyler Knight will pick it up. As Knight now double teamed. Splits that double team. Trying to get that body right there in front of that net. Ball knocked away. Bandied about. As Tim Jones almost able to get it. Whistle sounds. Push off will be the call against the Wildcats. 4:10 remaining. Clock rolls. So the Highlanders will have a situation. They're on the road against Plymouth North this Saturday morning. They also have a road game at Medford, and as well as a home game against Salem. Those are your unknown quantities. Medford, a very tough team, leading in the GBL, but the Highlanders could tie them for the GBL lead with a victory against the Mustangs. In terms of the GBL, that's what's ahead for the Highlanders. But also in terms of the playoffs, a victory over Medford would go a long way towards securing that 6th win they need in their 10 remaining games. As that's fired, blocked. Damian Jackson's shot gets blocked and Whittier comes away with it, but losing control of it is Gavin O'Brien. Highlanders will get the restart. Matt Costa doing the honors here near side. Costa scoring the first of the Highlanders' goals today. He gets it out to the top of the alleyway. That's Luke Avakian, but he loses control of the ball. Penalty is going to be the call against Knudsen. The flag comes out. Avakian draws that penalty. 2:50 remaining. So Knudsen heads to the penalty box. Highlanders will be up a man here. 2:30 remains. Clock is rolling. Highlanders can make that clock stop if they get a goal. We'll return to stoppages, stopping the clock. As Costa back to Hart. Hart out wide to Candelino. Pasquale with a goal today as well. Now Josue thinks about it, drives, puts that one towards the net, gets blocked. DiCarlo in there. Candelino comes away with it. They get it to Foley. Foley doesn't get it cleanly into the cross. And picked up. It's Colin Shaw into the attacking zone, sent to the ground. Flags all over. As Seamus Foley will head to the box. Minute 35 remaining. Cross-check the call against Foley. Highlanders will finish this game down a man. Clock continues to roll, minute 10 remaining. See if we get the restart before the minute elapses. So Whittier will move to 8-0 on the season with this victory today. Highlanders will drop to 4-6. As I said, though, after 10 games this season, Highlanders have the opportunity to get into the playoffs. Nice steal there by Damian Jackson. He loses the ball out of his cross, though. Flag comes down. It's going to go against Whittier on the slash. "30 seconds remaining. See if we get a restart. As Brown sent off, or I should say Knudsen sent off for the slash. 5-on-5 is what we will have as Rosas gets the restart. 15 seconds remaining in the game. Highlanders would love a quick shot here. As Costa will get it. Costa to Hart behind the goal. Hart passing, looking at X. But DiCarlo not able to get it into the cross. And that will do it as the Whittier Wildcats prove their top 20 ranking in Division II to be true as they win by the score of 17 to 4, or 5, I should say. Highlanders lose this one, dropping their record to 4-6, but as I said, 10 games into the season, 4 wins already. You look at the coming schedule, you can see 6 wins in those 10 remaining games. If they get 6 wins in those 10 remaining games, they will be in the MIAA playoffs. So keep an eye here on Somerville Ed TV as boys and girls lacrosse look well on their way to possible playoff action. That will do it for us today from Dilboy Stadium. Thank you very much for watching at home. Thank you once again for getting us to 3,000 subscribers. Really, really appreciate it. Make sure you're letting your friends, relatives, and everybody you meet on the street know they need to mash those buttons as well so we can get those subscriptions up. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much, Bill Trudell on camera, Joe Constantine on direction. I am Todd Harmon, and you have been watching Somerville Highlander Boys Lacrosse on Somerville Ed TV.